Hello there everyone, and welcome to our Classic Imagery release full reveal video. So first up we have the green wood flowers. Now this is a really beautiful layering stencil. As you can see, we have 3 different stencils in this set. They are all 6x6 and they're going to enable you to create some really beautiful florals and some leaves too. So we have 2 beautiful flowers in this set. And we also have 4 different leaf clusters for you to create too. So it's going to be really easy to create beautiful blended shading on these ones using your inks and also your little blending tools as well. We know that you do love our floral layering stencils, and I know that you're going to love this one too. Next up we have a quilt block. Now again, this is a layering stencil set, and this one you're going to get 4 different stencils. Now each of these stencils is 6x6 and they have a number of different images on these to create a tile each. So each of the 4 stencils is going to create a different pattern on here. So as you can see, we have the layering guide on the back, so you're going to be able to quickly and easily create these beautiful patterns. You could choose to use all of the patterns on one card, or you could also just use one of the tiles to create a really great focal point on your handmade card or project. Next up we have Terrazzo tile. Again, this is a builder stencil, and we have 3 different stencils in this one to create a really beautiful tile pattern. Now they are all 6x6 and they layer together beautifully to create a really beautiful effect. We do have the layering guide on the back of the packaging, so you can quickly and easily create this image here, but you don't necessarily have to do it like it says on the layering guide. You can really play around with this, changing them round, moving them round, and kind of laying them on top of each other in a different way. They don't necessarily have to look like this if you don't want them to. Next up we have a lacy tile. Now this is a very pretty 6x6 stencil, and in this one you have these kind of snowflake effect tiles on here, and this is a great one to add some texture or some color to your backgrounds quickly and easily. It's a really beautiful effect. You could also just isolate one of these little images that you can see here to create more of a focal point on your project if you wanted to. A great one for playing around with and adding a subtle background design to your cards and scrapbook layouts. Next up we have henna square. Now this is so pretty. So it's kind of a mix of a mandala and also some henna designs in there. It's on a kind of a tile look on this one, but you could definitely play around with this one and create many different effects. This would also be a really great one to kind of emboss into your cardstock and then add a little color that way as well. A really nice one to use, very feminine, but I think it could work for all different projects. Next up we have Illusion Twist. Again, this is a background stencil and it is 6x6, so you're going to get a full background pattern on this one. As you can see, this is so very cool. I think this is one of the cleverest ones I have seen. I just love the effect that you're going to get with this one. It's going to be really bold if you do use a black and white, but you can create a more subtle effect with lighter colors and maybe adding a number of different colors to the background rather than just one bold one. Next up we have Thunderstorm. So you can see here that we have a 6x6 stencil and it has lots of little raindrops on here. Although I say little, they are quite large in size, but they're going to be able to create a really cool effect on your background images. I don't necessarily think that these have to be raindrops. You could really play around with these, get different effects, maybe use them in other ways rather than kind of weather themed projects. Our last stencil in this release is the Fine Tool. Now this is so very pretty and very fine and feminine, I think, but you could definitely use it for guys cards. So it is a 6x6 stencil and it is going to add this really beautiful subtle effect all over a 6x6 piece of cardstock. Again, you can use this for all different projects. It doesn't need to be cards. You can definitely use this in your journals and your scrapbook layouts, as well as home decor too. Now on to 3D embossing folders. So this is the Spring Blossoms, and as you can see, it's a 6x6 embossing folder with this beautiful floral bouquet in here as well. So one side does emboss and the other one will deboss. So you're just going to pop your cardstock in the center of this and then run that through your die cutting machine to create really beautiful texture on all of your handmade cards or even journal pages, whichever you want to use this with. I think that it is going to look stunning. Next up we have the Cheerful Bloom. So again, this is a 6x6 3D embossing folder, and you can see that we have this beautiful floral bouquet that kind of swooshes diagonally down the cardstock. So you can see again, we do have that embossed side and the debossed side to create that really beautiful embossed look. Now you can just do this on a piece of white cardstock for some really subtle texture, or you could even add some colour with your artist markers or watercolours to create really beautiful effects with this one. Next up we have a Daisy Bed, again a 6x6 3D embossing folder. And in this one we have a plethora of beautiful daisies which would cover a piece of 6x6 cardstock beautifully. So again, we do have the debossed side and also the embossing side to create that beautiful texture with all of those beautiful flowers on it. Again, really play around with this one to create many different effects. And if you just wanted a subtle background to your cards, I think this one would work perfectly with many of the floral images that you probably have in your stash. Next up we have the Charming Mandala. So as you can see on this 6x6 embossing folder, we have a beautiful mandala which is kind of made up from florals and some botanical images there. Again, you can see that we have the embossed side and the debossed side that you're going to be able to create this really beautiful effect with. So again, really play around with this one. You can even add some ink to the embossing folder if you did want to emboss that into your cardstock to create kind of a letterpress look effect, or you can use all of your different colouring mediums to create various effects too. Next up we have the Orisha Palm 6x6 embossing folder. Now this is a very pretty one. I think leaves are great for adding some subtle texture to your backgrounds, especially if you are adding some floral images to the top as your focal image. Again, we do have the embossed side and the debossed side on the folder, so it's going to enable you to create this really great effect quickly and easily just by popping a little bit of cardstock in the middle of it and then running it through your die cutting machine. A really feminine look, but you can also use this on masculine cards and I think it would look wonderful. Next up we have Alocasia. Now again, this is a 6x6 3D embossing folder, and on here we have some really beautiful large leaf images which kind of overlap each other, which really brings that beautiful textured effect and depth and dimension. Again, we do have the embossed side and the debossed side on the folder, so you can quickly and easily create a really beautiful textured effect on all of your beautiful background images. Again, this is a great one for all different types of projects, and I would think that it would work for all different occasions too. Next up we have a bunch of balloons, a 3D embossing folder. Again, this is 6x6 and it will cover the front of a 6x6 piece of cardstock. So it's going to have this various different kind of balloons all over it, all floating on one another, very dreamy. And I think this would be a great one for birthday cards or celebration cards. Maybe a new baby has arrived in your little family, and I think this would be a perfect background to add to one of those cards. Next up, we have deck planks. So again, another 6x6 3D embossing folder. And in here we have various different planks, all with different texture on them, little knots on them, to create a more natural effect. Again, there is an emboss side and a deboss side to create the beautiful embossed texture that you can then add onto all of your different handmade projects, be that cards, scrapbook pages, or even home decor as well. Next up, we have dreamy tiles. So on this one, we have 9 different tiles, which you can use as a whole background, or if you wanted to, you could emboss this and then snip the tiles apart and then create various different looks with them. Maybe creating a whole scrapbook layout with these tiles at the background would be fantastic. Especially if you cut them out, you wouldn't be able to see the join where they are. I think there is a lot of things that you can do with this, and we can't wait to see what you do with yours. Last but by no means least in this release is the Buffalo Plaid. Again, a 6x6 embossing folder, and we have this really beautiful buffalo plaid design, which is going to cover the front of a 6x6 piece of cardstock, and it will also cover the back. So you can use either the emboss side or the deboss side for various kind of textured effects. Really great one to add for all different occasions and many different types of cards and projects. So here are all of the products that we have in our little release here. So all of the embossing folders and also the stencils too. We really do hope that you've spotted something in this release that inspires you and makes you want to create something beautiful. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we will see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye.